Good evening. It's been an absolutely wild couple of hours in global markets. We've got the Dow Jones up at new all-time highs. We've got the S&P up about 2% on the day. And of course, crypto markets also following in a big way. And it is all because of the comments made by good old Fed Chair Powell at the Jackson Hole meeting, which was held just a few hours ago, at the time I'm recording this. And I'll give you the summary essentially of what he said, which was, first of all, an acknowledgement that current policy is restrictive to the economy. He also acknowledged particular risks to the US economy, specifically within jobs, employment. And he said that these risks may warrant a change in policy stance. And of course, he is alluding to their rate cuts. Now, as we know, when rates are cut, that incentivizes investors not to keep their money in yield-bearing assets like bonds, not to keep their money in the bank, but rather to put that money into risk-on assets, such as equities, i.e. stocks, S&P, Dow, and crypto. So we saw some absolutely stunning moves in the crypto market as well. Bitcoin up around 5%. You've got Solana and XRP up around 10% respectively. But the star of the show this time around was Ethereum, an asset that's obviously been boring, we'll say, for the longest time, right? Until very recently. And in all of the four markets that I just spoke about, these moves were, once again, like we always talk about, precipitated by leverage positions becoming liquidated. Now, in this case, it was short positions being liquidated, people getting short in the market, betting that the market was going to go down, finding out that they were wrong very quickly, and then being forced to exit those positions. Now, when you exit short position, of course, you are buying into the market, right? You're buying the underlying asset. That's how you exit a short position. So suddenly there's a load of demand on the market. There's demand shock on the market. Supply remains more or less constant and the price goes up. So in the Ethereum market, we saw about $122 million worth of short liquidations over the last 4 hours or so. Absolutely stunning. And that, of course, rocketed Ethereum's price up nearly 15%. I've got to take a breather here because I've been talking too quickly. I'm getting excited. Most importantly, it rocketed Ethereum's price up to just a hair's breadth short of the all-time high. I think that's going to become incredibly exciting when we get resolution on this hint at a rate cut. We're going to find out within 25 days at the next FOMC meeting. And we've got tools like FedWatch, of course, that we can look at now. That is now predicting an 85% chance of a rate cut at the next meeting. So that's the catalyst. That's like the spark that starts the fire, if you will. But once again, because it's crypto, because we have rapid, easy, mass spread access to leverage, the fuel, or the petrol rather, that gets thrown on the fire at that point is these leverage short positions being liquidated. In this case, leverage short positions. It's so interesting. I had people from, even within my network, people who are into crypto getting down in the markets about Bitcoin being down at about $115,000. It's wild to me because obviously that is an incredibly strong price if you adjust your time horizon out to a couple of months even. But yeah, Bitcoin is causing people to act like spoiled children within the crypto market because people are so used to these massive moves, these really exciting bull run moves in particular, that when the market falls just a few points, suddenly things are really dismal. And then they start exiting the markets. We saw even from institutional investors, right, massive outflows from the BlackRock ETFs over the last couple of weeks, couple of days. And of course, people getting into short positions right at the bottom of the market. This time around, the star of the show was ETH. And of course, that just becomes more and more interesting as we get closer to that all-time high, which we really very closely scraped today. So that is what I'm going to be watching very closely. Fascinated to see what happens when we do finally reach that big number. That is about all I've got for you right now. Please remember that nothing I say should be considered financial advice of any sort whatsoever. This is just my opinion. Maybe I missed something. Please tell me about it. But always remember to do your own research. Don't make any crazy bets because of something that I have said or anyone has said on the internet.